Lordy, lordy, we're headed back to the back 40. That's right, guys. It's that time of year where we head up the creek, check out our pasture, make sure everything's good to go. The cows are ready to move, and hopefully in a couple days we bring them up here. Let's go in here and see what's going on for the year. So as I'm driving around here on the property, I'm checking the fence lines, making sure all the fences are good. I'm also checking the grass to see if it's growing. And lo and behold, it is, and that's kind of cool because we haven't had that much sunshine. Except for this week, we've had the sun blasting pretty good this week. It's been in the 60s the last 2 days. Next few days is going to be in the 70s. So this grass has sprouted pretty good, and I'm expecting the next few days to really take off. So I think so far, I'm saying we can bring some cows out, at least some of them. So as I'm driving around checking the fences, I see this is the part of the pasture we don't usually graze. The owner just doesn't like to be grazed too often, every few years or so. Maybe this year we'll get in here. But I see we have looks like a little deer that winter kill up here over there. So it's kind of sad that little feller didn't make it through the winter, whatever was going on with that. But anyways, that's about all I've seen so far. And a little bit of grass. Okay, this right here is pretty typical for the spring, guys. This has just been some deer activity. They just come along, get a little lazy, start knocking the wires down. So no big deal. That's actually not that bad. I'll go find a couple clips and take care of this pretty easy. But that's about typical. At least it's not broken, so that's just what we're looking for. Our little cows are small, but they could hop that pretty easy. So am I the only one that wishes they could come up with a better way to package these things, these T-post clips? It is like always frustrating. This isn't too bad of a bag, but you know how it is sometimes, guys, where you can just mess around in here for a half hour trying to get one clip out. Anyways, some genius out there come up with a better idea, please. For those of you guys that've been with us for a while, you might remember this spot right here. I don't know if you remember it or not. This is where we lost one of those Holstein steers 2 years ago. Actually, it's been not last season, but the season before. Anyway, so this is only 2 seasons, a year and a half now, and just almost gone. Even the bones are deteriorating, and boy, dust to dust, guys. We just returned to dust. Boy, guys, I'm so excited to be back up here. It's been a long winter. It's been a long time coming. And there's not a whole lot of new growth going on, but there is some. We're looking okay. But there's a lot of old growth still there. So there's plenty to eat here for a week or two until it really gets growing here. But man, it's nice. Look at that crick. Perfect. I'm probably going to have to move this, expand right over there. I need to take that out a little bit more because it's hard for them little calves to get down in here to drink. I need to make a little bit better pathway there. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. And man, it's almost time. A day or two, we're going to be up here. Let's go check out that other fence. Oh, so far so good. But this right here is leaning over really hard. That area could be a little bit of a concern. I might have to bring my tractor and kind of push that T-post back up straight. Trim some brush. This could be a problem. Back there is not so big a deal, so much brush back there, but what? Oh man. Oh, this is terrible. This poor, check this out. Oh man, look at this, guys. Oh, this poor deer. Got caught up in the wire there, hind legs back there. Man, it stinks. It hasn't been, gosh, that can't be too long. A couple weeks maybe? I don't even know if a couple weeks. Oh man, that is a terrible. Lord, that would have been rough. I don't even know what to say. Look at that. Poor hind legs got all the way in there, all the way down to the ground. Man alive. I think I hate to cut that wire, but I might cut that wire just so it'll drop off the fence. just so I guess it can lay there and go back to the dirt, I suppose. Dang it. That's the bad deal, guys. I know you gotta have fences. We gotta have fences. I mean, I build fence for a living, and I know that's just the way it is, but every once in a while something like that happens, and you know, the deer probably got lazy, I guess, and when it jumped, its little hind legs went right in the wire there, and it just had no chance. And of course, if we'd have been up here, I'm sure there was still snow on the ground. Snow's only been gone for a week or a week and a half maybe, so probably still snow on the ground. And we weren't in here, and man, every once in a while you run into something like that. I just feel sorry for them. I feel sad, but it happens. So I'll get him off the fence, or get her off the fence, and well, just to keep going on. These fences are looking pretty good. Hopefully won't find any more dead deer. I guess that's 2 so far, but first one in the fence in quite a while. So usually when I build fence, now these ones are, man, that's almost 46 inches tall probably. I started building fence about 42 inches tall because it's game friendly, so to speak. And deer can usually handle a lot of things though, but the elk are the ones that get real lazy. But yeah, see, this is, if we'd been more like right in here. Now, I did build this fence years ago for the owner, and that's how we met him, and we built it to his specs. So that might be 48 inches, 4 feet tall, which many of you know, have probably known as being standard. But with the hole, look at this, we got some more hair right here. So what is the deal with that? Just went under a few times, and I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so we built the fence for him years ago. That's how we met the guy. That's how we got the pasture, actually. So very grateful. Our fence has held up great, as you can see. This side we built. The other side is totally old and trash. We need to be rebuilt, actually. But this right here would have been way better served right down here, or maybe even here. You know, cows respect 42 inches, guys. And honestly, well, my cows do. And even full-size cows will respect it if they have room to move. You know, close quarters, you got to go taller. But if you got room to move, the cow will move down this way, and they'll just keep right on trucking. They're not going to try it. But at 42 inches, it allows the elk and deer to jump a lot better. And then we don't end up with deer caught up in these 30-year-old fences that a lot of times were 54 inches tall. And I'm guessing that's probably what that one was. It's just too tall. We don't need them that tall, but man. Well, that's kind of disheartening. Come out here and find something like that, knowing that that deer suffered. I don't like that. But nature can be cruel. And of course, fence isn't nature, but it's part of the world now, and it happens sometimes. Not very often, especially with deer, but you see them in fences every once in a while. What's kind of cool about this time of year is this is the only time of year I can actually drive on this particular part of the property. When the water hasn't got in here yet, and it's not quite so swampy, boggy, but so I usually don't even drive on it, but I thought, why not? It's the only time I can do it. Go check this fence out. This one here is pretty rough, but looks like it'll pass another season. Let's go see. Yeah, this one here is the one that's been in the discussion for replacing for years, and it's just kind of a bluff. But as you can see, leastwise from my perspective, there's wires up all the way down, so that's fun. I don't remember putting those in there, but I guess I did, these tall T-posts. Anyways, oh look, we got a little bit of a bog going already. So this is up. Looking pretty good that way. Didn't know I was gonna have to bring my mud boots, which I don't own, so I need to go buy some. But it looks good. Let's go check down here. It's just gonna be interesting year. It's gonna be an interesting year. I have high hopes. I really do. I think we're looking for a better season for grass. Hopefully we got some good moisture. If we can get some rains in May and June, and while I'm at it, let's go with July and August and September. I'm just gonna go ahead and be greedy with it if it's all right. And my goodness, this is a little concerning. It is boggy out here. See how high off the ground that fence is? My little calves, if they wanted to, could go right under that. Well, I may have to do something about that. Or I can chance it. I don't know which option I like better. I'll probably do something. The good news is, it would just be in the neighbor's place. And he's pretty good guy. So anyways, this is looking good. You know, that one year before I started pasturing my cows up here, they had another guy come in late season with a whole bunch of cows and grazed the whole thing off. And this part right here, they actually grazed this off really nice. And this is where it gets real boggy in the summer. But after it dried up in the late fall, they grazed this off pretty nice. And it grew better the next year. And of course, we don't have the same program going on with that. However, I've always wanted to leave my cows in here later to graze this down, eat all this up, because it does come back better the following year instead of being messy like this. So hopefully they can chew some of this down before it gets too wet, because then, you know, they come over here, but they try not to come over here when it's real wet. They stick to the drier parts. I don't blame them. But there is good grass over here. If I get rid of some of that dead stuff, you know, I don't know what to do about all the water in the summertime. It is what it is, I guess. But man, it just, if you can't ever get it perfect. If you guys remember last year, we came in here first of the year and kind of fixed this little number up, put in a gate, and it seemed to work pretty good last year. No troubles in this area, and that was the big hot spot for all of the bull breakouts the year before. And then they come from over here and move this way, blast right through that gate right there, or at least was what used to be a gate. This here was all tore down, kind of wonky, and they'd break through there every time. But last year worked pretty good, so maybe this year will be fine too, hopefully. Well, I have to say, guys, I'm pretty pleased with what I've seen so far. Pasture looks pretty good. There's plenty of feed here. I think I can bring some cows in this weekend. So stay tuned. Tomorrow I think I'm gonna brand. I got a few of them I gotta brand and do a little work on, and then hopefully Sunday morning I can bring them out here. But stay tuned for Monday or Tuesday and catch the video on that. Looks like it's cow moving time again, guys. Thanks for coming along. We'll catch you next week. Have a good one.